Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hello Word, the podcast where we explore the fascinating world of English vocabulary. I'm your host, Alex, and I'm thrilled to have you join me today. Our word for today is clearly, an A2 level adverb meaning in an obvious way. So, what does clearly really mean? Well, it indicates that something is easy to perceive, understand, or recognize. Think of it as something that is not ambiguous or confusing. You can use clearly to describe how something is seen, heard, understood, or expressed. For example, I can clearly see the mountains from here. The word clearly helps express the ease with which you perceive the mountains. Now, let's explore some synonyms for clearly. One synonym is obviously. Think of it as something that is plain to see. For example, he was obviously upset about the news. Another synonym is plainly. Plainly suggests something is straightforward and easy to understand. For instance, she plainly stated her opinion on the matter. A third synonym is evidently. We can use evidently when something is apparent from the evidence. For example, he was evidently a talented musician. And one more synonym is distinctly, referring to something that is clear and unambiguous. I distinctly remember her saying that. Now, let's consider the antonyms of clearly. An antonym is a word with the opposite meaning. One antonym for clearly is vaguely. Vaguely means not clear or definite. For example, I vaguely remember meeting him. Another antonym is obscurely. Obscurely means not easily understood or expressed. For instance, the instructions were written obscurely. A third antonym is indistinctly. Indistinctly refers to something that is not clear or sharply defined. For example, I could hear voices indistinctly in the background. Another antonym could be ambiguously, which implies uncertainty or doubtfulness. An example would be, the contract was worded ambiguously, leading to confusion. Let's dive into how you can use clearly in everyday life. Imagine you're giving directions. You might say, go straight, and you'll clearly see the store on your left. Or perhaps you're explaining a concept to someone. I'm not making myself clearly enough. In a conversation about the weather, you could say, it is clearly going to rain. Look at those clouds. You could also use it in expressing certainty. For example, clearly, she is the best candidate for the job. How else can we use it? Consider this. The sign was clearly visible from the road. I clearly remember what happened that day. Can you speak more clearly, please? It's clearly a difficult situation. The evidence clearly points to his guilt. She explained the rules clearly to the children. The situation is not as clearly defined as we thought. He made his intentions clearly known. They clearly stated their objections. She was clearly annoyed by the interruption. To give more examples, the path was clearly marked so we didn't get lost. I can clearly see the difference between the two paintings. He spoke clearly and concisely during the presentation. The benefits of exercise are clearly understood. The instructions were clearly written, making them easy to follow. It was clearly a mistake, and he apologized for it. She clearly has a talent for singing. The weather forecast clearly predicted rain. And finally, the company's profits have clearly increased this year. So, to recap, clearly means in an obvious way, making something easy to understand or see. We looked at synonyms like obviously, plainly, evidently, and distinctly. We also explored antonyms such as vaguely, obscurely, indistinctly, and ambiguously. We also saw how clearly can be used in various everyday situations. Thank you for joining me on Hello Word today. I hope you found this episode helpful. If you enjoyed learning about the word clearly, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your support helps others find our show. And now, for your homework, I encourage you to create your own sentence using the word clearly and share it as a comment under the video. I can't wait to read them. Until next time, Keep exploring the wonderful world of words.